able producer and your listening.
I know your position on this. In fact, we've spoken to you on many occasions and how you feel that this particular this process is you've defended and that they follow the constitution. But because a lot of people have been talking about your recent charitable nature, I am hoping that you've now changed and you'll be a part of the good men Godfrey Adami is looking for, who will speak against the manner in which the fact that the CJ is being taken through this process in itself, that it should stop. Would you join the good men now?
You know, a friend usually say, life is a school. Okay? So now, the life is a school. Each and every day, I keep learning. I have a thing I always say, that time is not a good friend of mine. Hello, Sana?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
That time is not a good friend of mine. May we never forget about tomorrow. You see, Sana, there's something that has always guided my public service outlook. It is a service anchored on the benevolence of the electorates.
Okay. A service anchored on the benevolence of the electorates.
Yes. It is not an entitlement. Look, anytime I go on my knees, there's one thing I say, and I do so solemnly, that God Almighty, for my sake, should bless President Mahama. There are over 6 million people who voted for him, right? Okay. Out of this, he singled me out for an important role of this nature. The first thing that I should know, that I work at the pleasure of the president. He doesn't owe me anything.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. I work at his pleasure. A pleasure that has come about because of the support of the electors who voted for him. Nothing more, nothing else, bro. Now, why do I have to say this? See, Senna, anytime I enter my boardroom, I see the pictures of previous CEOs, and it is a reminder to me that one day my picture would also be on the wall. Yes, it's a very humbling. Anytime I see the pictures, it humbles me. It's a gentle reminder that this office, one day. So you see, with this mindset, I approach my work with a certain level of sobriety. With a level of sobriety. Look, surprising today, Godfrey Adami is calling Goodman. Is he not curious? Senna, Godfrey Adami today is calling for Goodman. This is a man caught on tape. Arranging and conspiring as to how to get conviction against an innocent man. Where were the good men? Where were the good men? It's really short, but like I pointed out earlier, time is not a good friend of mine. Time is not a good friend of mine. Look, Senator, when I saw
Mm-hmm.
the rate action from now suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Torkornoo, right?
Yeah.
I said, wow, wow, wow. Maybe not in my life. I never thought I was going to see a thing like this. But can I ask a question, Senator?
Oh, you can.
Would Chief Justice be happy with the justice that will be delivered to her?
Will she be happy with the justice that will be delivered to her?
Yeah, because you see, as the head of the justice delivery system,
Okay.
the way she has dispensed justice,
Mm-hmm.
if that same is given to her,
Mm-hmm.
would she be happy?
You're saying would she be happy if she was on the receiving end of the
Of the
justice she has
justice that
delivered?
she has delivered and meted out to others.
Okay.
So let's take it this way. You are Dr. Okuni. You go to court. There's a panel.
Mm-hmm.
The panel takes legal submission, everything.
Yeah.
You go to court the next day. The panel has been changed.
Okay.
Huh? You heard that thing about police?
Yes.
Will she be happy? Huh? Evosena? Like I said, tomorrow is pregnant. Sena? For me, all these things that are happening, it is the lesson for me. It is the lesson. Will she be happy? Being at the receiving end of the justice that she is delivering. I'll give you a classic example because I noticed that. So look at this situation, right? You are a man called Daniel Ofori. You took Ecobank to court. From High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. You obtained judgment. You are even in the process of executing the judgment against Ecobank. Then one morning you woke up. Listen up. You woke up. And for God knows. Listen up.
I'm listening carefully.
For God knows. You go to court. Then the people you have won the judgment against now come after whatever years they say. The judgment you have, they want to overturn it with some interesting submissions. Now the judge who starts at the High Court, the judge who sat on this matter at the High Court has now become a Supreme Court judge and a Chief Justice.
Okay.
No, like a High Court judge.
Okay.
And now it's a Supreme Court judge. And says that the matter that she has sat on at the High Court, she now wants to sit on it as a Supreme Court judge. How would you feel? It has to take lawyers for this Daniel Ofori man to now raise an objection and say, madam, you can't sit on this case. You sat on it at the High Court, and this was the view you expressed. Now that you are a Supreme Court judge, you want to come and sit on it again. How would I be sure in my mind that you will be doing me justice? That you'll be doing me justice. How? Do you know what? It has to take her own colleague Supreme Court judges to say, no, madam, you can't sit on this. So recuse yourself. That's the level. And I beg your pardon.
Wow.
With her leadership, the Chief Justice, be happy with this kind of justice being meted out to her. Will she be? That's one of the petitioners.
Yes. Whose name has come up in this in the suit she filed? In fact, she wants Justice Puaman to be disqualified.
Who empaneled Justice Puaman? Did he empanel himself? Huh? Did he empanel himself?
Be that as it may, she feels that the fact that she's heard matters involving Daniel Asiedu alone should be
Daniel Ofori.
No, Daniel Ofori alone should be enough ground to disqualify him from being on this committee.
Was he the one who put himself on it? What is the nexus between the grounds of the petition and the Daniel Ofori matter? The issue of bias is not a matter for individualism. It's about interest. Huh?
Interest.
So, question is that, my Lord Farmer, did he empanel himself? My Lord Farmer, did he empanel himself?
But what's your general view of some of the things she's asking?
Our elders have a saying that the executioner fear to lack supinely.
The executioners?
Yes.
Fear to do what?
To lie supinely. Huh? Why? Why are you laughing?
No, but why is this relevant to the question I've asked?
I think executioners fear to lie supinely. You will not start to when in the hour. Huh? I'm lying. I'm already. I'm lying with head looking up. In this life, and even me, I am minded by this. The opportunities of life. If you can't use it to help, don't use it to destroy. Nobody knows tomorrow. Today, look. I never thought I would see a day where a Chief Justice will issue a writ in her own name. I am defending myself. Man and man, another
But what she's going through to is rare. So rare things will happen, will they not? What she's going through to, the process she's been taken through, are rare. Yes. So rare things will happen, will they not?
what is real about the process? Article 146 has been litigated, has been used since 1992. So what's the point? At the point, the whole Ghana Bar Association even brought a suit to stop former President Rawlings also from dealing with Justice Abba. You remember Chief Justice Abba? Article 146, in the specific case of President Mahama, and an NDC appointee, let me put it that way. You remember Miss Vivian Loretta Lamptey? You remember her?
Yes.
The Shrine was appointed to replace Emil Shaw. Appointed by, may he so rest in peace, Professor Mills, for John Mahama's vice president. Then, a known NPP activist, Richard Nyama, and Ankano Domfre, brought a petition to President Mahama that this particular lady, who is the Strad board, having taken over from Emil Shaw, they had refused to use Emil Shaw's vanguard and had engaged in what have you, financial impropriety or whatever, all kinds of issues. Do you know the person who received the petition? Do you know the one who received the petition?
John Mahama.
John Mahama.
Yes, I recall.
Do you know what John Mahama did there? John Mahama referred the matter to Chief Justice Georgina Wood to investigate and make a prima facie determination. Georgina Wood returned and said, yes, I have made a prima facie case against her. Huh? You understand? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
I see.
Look, Senna, let me tell you this. President Mahama in the Loretta Vivian Lamptey matter suspended her. Do you know that?
Yes, I recall.
Good. So is it the first time President Mahama is suspending somebody?
No, not on
Pursuant to Article 146. When there is that enough saga expose on the judiciary happened, the judges that were called, President Mahama was then president, you recall?
Yes.
Why? He asked that the same Article 146 be followed. Judges were filing suits right there and there in our court. What happened? We need to learn. We need to learn. Right? We need to learn. I have looked at the Red Act. I've seen the reliefs. I've been going through them since yesterday. And the more I look at it, you know, there's something we call patrolling reliefs.
Patrolling reliefs.
Yes.
Patrolling is a fishing concept, I believe.
Yes.
How does it apply to reliefs that are sought in court?
You see, patrolling simply means there's one trawler here, there's another trawler,
Okay.
and then there's a next between them.
Okay.
And they move side by side.
Okay.
So as they move, everything on their way, they pick it up. Sort it, whatever. Once you fall within that space, they pick everything. They call it patrolling. a bad fishing habit.
Yes.
Or fishing method. So usually it is not permissible. That's what I see with the release. So it is like, at this point, everything should go in. First of all, Article 146H. What's the operative word? It says, shall be held in camera.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Shall be held in camera. Strangely, the Supreme Court, when the matter came for, when Bratakuti brought the petition to remove Chief Justice Aqua, there was a man called Bakajetu who brought a suit to the Supreme Court to challenge, right? To challenge that process and argue that the newspaper application of the content of the petition among others undermines constitutional provision, mandatory provision. If something is mandatory, on what basis are you urging the court to make it optional? Huh? Senna? Now listen carefully. The Constitution uses the word shall. Correct?
Yes.
You read it yourself.
Yes.
Shall.
But the CJ is of the opinion is that this is a right accorded to the holder of the office. If the holder of the office decides to waive it.
Hold on. Where in Article 146 does it make it a provision attached to the holder? It is not a right. You can waive a right. Even that one, there are exceptions. For instance, you cannot say you are waiving your right to leave. So you cannot, like Senna, go and say you are subjecting yourself, let somebody kill you because it is your life. Because you have a constitutional right to life. Correct?
Yes.
So can you waive it and say, look, Eric, I am here with you, kill me. Even yourself, you are not permitted to kill yourself. That's why suicide is a crime in Ghana. And we are making all attempts to decriminalize suicide. Is that not the case?
Yes.
Article 146 is not a right.
It is not a right.
No. If the thing is not a right, how can you waive it? So, for instance, you have the right to privacy. That's why if police officers arrest you and they take your phone, they cannot automatically go into the phone. They need to go and get a court order. And then the court will order and say, oh, permit this person to enter. Right? Or you yourself will say, I have nothing to hide. So you can go into my phone. You can check my emails. You can check my WhatsApp. This is me. You have waived that right. But Article 146 does not talk about that. So what is the basis for anybody to say, even remotely, that I am waiving a right? How can you waive a right you don't have? How can you give something that you don't have? Huh?
Well, right, I guess we have to leave it here. And look forward to what will happen.
Yes, so, like I pointed out, so now, let all be mindful that it is public office. Today you are here, tomorrow you are not. Today you are here, tomorrow you are not there. Would her ladyship now suspend be happy with the justice that she had delivered? Maybe going forward, all of us must learn from this rather painful experience and be minded. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, that's Godwin Edudzi Tamakloe, who is acting CEO, National Petroleum Authority, speaking to us. Still remains Director Legal of the National Democratic Congress. There's something we'd like to share with you, but